Often as kids or even teenagers, we overlook things. We overlook the idea of the loss of a loved one due to the naivety of our own mind. This was the case for me until I lost my mom. This was also the case for the author of Pass On, Michael Lee, until he lost his friend Stephen. His friend Stephen was murdered by the boy's mother due to her schizophrenia, and originally Michael's behavior due to the loss of his friend was destructive and obsessive, but after being able to cope with it through the poem Pass On, he was able to create an obsessive work ethic. Pass On was the way Michael was able to deal with Stephen's death, as it was said that Stephen would want a happy poem because he was always happy and he wouldn't want them to be sad. Michael decided to show this as a way to help people who are going through the loss of a loved one. Now for Pass On by Michael Lee. When searching for the lost, remember these 8 things. 1. We are vessels. We are circuit boards. Swallowing the electricity of life upon birth, it wheels through us, creating every moment. The pulse of a story, the soft hums of labor and love. At our final moments, it'll come rushing from our chests and be given back into the wind. When we die, we go everywhere. 2. Newton said energy is neither created nor destroyed. In the halls of my middle school, I can still hear Stephen singing his favorite song. In the gymnasium, I can still hear the way he dribbled that basketball, like it was a mallet and the earth a xylophone. With an ear to the Atlantic, I can still hear the Titanic's band playing her to sleep. Music, wind, music, wind. 3. The day my grandfather passed, I could feel the strongest wind. I could feel his gentle hands blowing away from me. Although I knew they were off to find someone who needed them more than I did. On average, 1.8 people die every second on Earth. There was always a gust of wind somewhere. 4. The day Stephen was murdered, everything that made us love him rushed from his knife wounds as though his chest were an auditorium and his life an audience, leaving single file. Every ounce of him has been whirling around this world in a windstorm. I have been looking for him for 9 years. 5. We are nothing more than a host to a collection of brilliant things. When someone dies, I do not weep over Polaroids or belongings. I begin to search for the lightning that has left them. I find the strongest breeze and take off running. 6. After 9 years, I found Stephen. I passed a basketball court in Boston. The point guard dribbled like he had a stadium roaring in his palms. Wilt Chamberlain pumping in his feet, his hands flashing like x-rays. A crossover, a rewind, wraparound, turntables cracking open, cameramen turned flashbulbs to fireworks. His hands were luminous, pulsing, pulsing. 7 games and he never missed a shot. I asked him how long he had been playing. He said, 9 years. 7. The theory of 6 degrees of separation was never meant to show how many people we can find. It was a set of directions for how to find the people that we have lost. I found your voice, Stephen. I found it in a young boy in Michigan who was always singing, his lungs flapping like sails. I found your smile in Australia. A young girl whose teeth shone like the opera house in her neck. I saw your one true love come to life on the asphalt of Boston. 8. We are neither created nor destroyed. We are constantly transferred, shifted, and renewed. Death does not come when a body is too exhausted to live. Death comes because the brilliance inside of us can be contained only for so long. We do not die. We pass on. Pass on the lightning burning through our throats. When you leave me, I will not cry for you. I will run into the strongest wind I can find and welcome you home.
Yes.